There is war right now. There's every reason to think it will spread. Everything I see, but also any study of the past, suggests that it will not stop being that way. War is perpetual so far.
What's in your thinking that says the United States government has some right and duty to go to Middle Eastern countries and knock off their leadership?
Well, you know,
the mantra from the president and everyone else in the administration has been no boots on the ground. And now
that is not true.
What?
It's just not true, man.
It is.
No, it's not.
I will not put American boots on the ground in Syria.
Well,
I just flatly, absolutely disagree with you.
Principal regime change, what do you make of it?
No, look.
Constantly trying to knock off their leaders.
No, that is just an overstatement.
We came, we saw, he died.
Don't you support knocking off Bashir Assad?
How do you view Hillary Clinton in terms of her foreign policy views?
I see her as a neoconservative.
Are you a neocon?
I really don't know what that means anymore.
You want to name names when you're criticizing or blasting these so-called neocons?
Fred Kagan.
Kim Kagan.
Robert Kagan. Don Kagan, he's the war guy.
There is some suspicion that actually there's a hand up my back that makes my lips talk, and it's operated by one of the doctors Kagans.
Because the Kagans didn't really exist in the chain of command.
You know, to what extent is this behavior that we're seeing, is it corrupt? A lot of it is really ambiguous.
The president had been influenced by your views.
So I hear. I mean, I'm very pleased.
A darling of the neocons.
Robert Kagan, David Petraeus, how their ideas influenced America's sense of itself.
Would you be a neocon?
People use that term, and I don't really know what that means.
Her husband, Fred, works at the American Enterprise Institute.
But I would also like to see American ground forces deployed into Palestine to restore peace in that area.
So our messianic vision is the triumph of freedom everywhere in the world.
We need to have a total of 15 to 20,000 U.S. troops in Iraq.
20,000 troops or so that are needed to actually destroy ISIS.
I think anything less than that is simply unserious.
The people who broke Iraq have a lot of ideas about fixing it now.
You claim to have the greatest army history has known, but your soldiers, they return dead or suicidal.
If we just let our own vision of the world go forth and we embrace it entirely and we don't try to be clever.
So Trump came roaring in. He was like a golden wrecking ball.
I would bomb the shit out of him. I would just bomb those suckers.
It just wage a total war against these tyrants. I think we'll do very well.
I'd blow up every single inch. There would be nothing left.
That you think we should carpet bomb the Islamic State, which, by the way, is Islamic, President Obama.
Arabs are angriest at us and treat us worse when they perceive us as being weak.
Whatever happened to the Reagan doctrine, back in the 80s when we were, supplying weapons to the Mujahideen? I mean, why can't we do it that way? I don't understand.
And our children will sing great songs about us years from now.
We have to fight them in the air, we have to fight them on the ground, and we have to fight them on the internet.
When Robert Kagan said that he considers Hillary Clinton a fellow neoconservative, that's exactly what he was referring to.
Airstrikes will have to be combined with ground forces.
If there's a no-fly zone, which you're advocating, and the Russians invade that no-fly zone, would President Clinton say, shoot it down?
For the first time, U.S. pilots had to divert over Syria because a Russian fighter jet came within 20 nautical miles.
We're going to put up a no-fly zone.
So I would just make the obvious point that Kagan, Kraut, and I, and millions of hawks supported a bunch of interventions. We're just generally hawkish, I think.
This is a how does it work question. You're married to Victoria Nuland.
So help me God.
So help me God.
If Hillary does become president, do you think it's likely that Victoria Nuland will be chosen as Secretary of State?
Well, I think it's quite likely.
I'm not allowed to use anything that she tells me in any way, and
She on the inside can implement the policies that make the military contractors happy.
What are you going to do? I'm not with Trump, but I'm not with her.
His name is Bill Kristol.
All the guy wants to do is kill people and go to war and kill people.
We can no more get out of that than we can get out of our love for our foods and our sports and our clothes. And that is built into our national DNA.